Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be it's her job to get noticed, it's his job to make dates happen. So, this particular email is from a viewer who's new to my work, and so he's 30, and his ex girlfriend is 20, and they were dating for about 11 months. He says he got dumped because he got weak, he got emotional, and he lost his masculine center, which is pretty common. A lot of guys have that issue. That's usually why they end up coming to my work, starting to read the book. And so I think he said he's been through the book one time. And so what's interesting is like he has a daily routine where he walks. And I guess he walks by the place where his ex-girlfriend worked. And after 90 days no contact, she kind of knew his routine, and she would kind of come out, accidentally run into him. And eventually, some point, they start texting. She's texting him memes and stuff like that. So if you've been through 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back and you're in a similar situation, the reason why you go no contact is because you want sex and romance and she doesn't want to be with you anymore. Maybe she offers friendship or something like that. But you never try to keep somebody that doesn't want to keep you. You're not going to sit around trying to change your mind, because it takes two to tango. It takes two people who want to fix their relationship in order for it to be fixable. And if the girl has lost attraction and respect for you, she doesn't want to be with you anymore, you're not going to beg and grovel and plead with her. You're just going to move on with your life. You're going to say, hey, well, I don't agree, but if you don't want to make an effort, I'm not going to force you. So if you ever change your mind, hit me up. And if I'm still single, we can go out on a date. And then you ride off into the sunset and you never speak to her again. Now, most women are not going to call you and go, okay, well, I had enough time away and let's get back together. It doesn't typically work like that. Usually what happens is they reach out, they'll send you a meme, or they'll call you, they'll say, hey, what are you doing? How you been? And that's about as far as they'll go. What they basically will do is they'll put themselves into your orbit to get noticed so that you'll make a date happen. And so she started breaking no contact, but he kind of acted like a statue, often ignored her, didn't really do anything. And after several months of this, he finally invites her for a date, and then she declines. And now he's wondering, and she's still continuing to contact him. So he's like, what do I do? So I don't think he's been through 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back, because at the end of the day, if she dumped you, she has to earn another chance with you. She screwed it up. She's got to fix it. That's why she has to travel to you. And what you offer is a dinner date at your place. In other words, to make dinner together, not to make it for her so you can perform for her, but so you can make dinner together, because it facilitates physical interaction, touching, chemistry. Obviously, ultimately, the goal is to end with a seduction. Women who are trying to keep you in friend zone, who are just looking for attention and validation, are going to try to get out of coming over for dinner. They're going to try to get you to meet for coffee or lunch or group dates with other mutual friends, that kind of thing. So if a woman accepts an evening date at your place to make dinner, sex and romance are on the table. So it prevents the woman from jerking you around and wasting your time. And that way you know that she's coming because there's a chance for sex and romance. And again, a woman who's trying to avoid that is not going to want to come to your place. She's going to, again, try to get you to do platonic things. And that's why you have to stand your ground in these cases. So when this woman started coming back, it looked like he tried to make a date, but you don't go pick her up, you don't meet her out, you don't do those things. She has to come to you because she's got to earn another chance with you. And so if she comes over 3 dates in a row where she's initiated contact and you make dates, as long as you hang out and have fun and hook up all 3 dates, then you can meet her out and pick her up and go on normal dates after that if you're so inclined. But at least for the first 3 dates, you want to see that she's willing to come to your place. You hook up all 3 times. Then you can start going on other dates, but you still got to let her do 100% of the reaching out. Because as the book says, if a woman's reaching out, you assume that she wants to see you, so you make a date. So in this case, if a woman's constantly showing up on your walking path because you got a routine, that's her way of, that's about as far as she's going to go to potentially reconnect. And if you just keep acting like a statue like this guy did, and then eventually he worked up the nerve to ask her out, it looked like the moment had passed. So let's go through his email. He says, "Hi, Corey. I've read 3% Man once, and I'm beginning my second read-through on audiobook. Your principles have already shifted how I handle myself with women. My ex is 20, and I'm 30, and we live 20 minutes apart in South Florida, and we dated for 11 months. She was amazing at first, but I got weak and emotional, lost my masculine center, and she lost attraction." Well, that's typically how it works. If you don't act masculine, you act more effeminate and girly, especially when you're overly emotional, because masculinity is calm. You're basically acting like a woman. And that's going to ruin the sexual polarity and dry her up and turn her off, and she's going to lose romantic interest in you and start feeling more platonic towards you. So I went a full... She broke up with me over the phone. So 11 months together, and she does you in over the phone. So I went full 90-day no contact. And I walk to the beach twice a day and past the store that she manages every time. I've always stayed on the opposite side of the street, kept my mission, never looked over or acknowledged her. And after about 90 days, she started showing up accidentally right in my path. First on the morning walk, then evenings during her lunch break. "Hey, cutie, you miss me? You been thinking about me?" That's what I'd be saying to her if she's doing that. "Come walk with me." That's what I would say. And then you can talk. You can, "Hey, how you been? What have you been up to?" Don't say, "Well, let's talk about our relationship." No, hang out, have fun, hook up. She shows up. You have to assume that she likes you and is interested. So you're just going to treat her like everything is just fine. "How you been? What have you been up to? How's the family? How the parental units?" Etc., etc. And then before you leave, say you're walking back by the store and she's going to head back in because her break's over or lunch is over or whatever. Say, "We should get together for dinner. What's your schedule like?" Let her tell you and say, "Great. How about 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, my place, Friday night, Saturday night, Tuesday night," whatever happens to be. And invite her over to make dinner. If she says, "Let's go for coffee," just say, "No, it's been a long week. I'm just in the mood to hang at my place. If you don't want to come over and make dinner, then give me a call in a couple weeks and maybe I'll be up for meeting you out then." So again, all the objections you can possibly get from her when you try to make dinner plans at your house are handled in the article and video, 7 Principles Get an Ex Back. You can look it up on our website, understandingrelationships.com. And especially if you're in a situation like this, I highly recommend you watch the video a few times and you go through the article several times. So when you get into a situation like this, especially as you're walking down the street, you're not able to go, "Hold on, honey, I got to check to see what 7 Principles Get an Ex Back says. You just said something. I remember it was in the article. I got to see how I got to reply to that." You can't do that. So you got to know what's in there. That's why you should go through it multiple times so you understand the philosophy and how to handle any potential objections that she's going to throw your way. But he's new, so I don't know where in the process this started happening. But under normal circumstances, that's how you look at it. You look at it, well, she's breaking no contact. She's coming across the street to accidentally run into me. So obviously she's interested in him. And as the book says, your attitude should be like, "Well, all women want me." Well, we know that's not going to be true, but that should be your attitude. That should be your starting point. Of course she likes me because I'm charming and I'm handsome. What girl wouldn't like me? That should be your attitude and your mindset towards yourself. And so if your ex starts showing up in your walks like, "Oh, she must miss my sexy body." And you could say things like that and be fun and be playful because love is playful and fun after all. That completely lightens the mood. You're not talking about serious relationship topics because at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. Your job is just to create an opportunity for sex time. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Doesn't say hang out, have fun, go over the past, have a really unpleasant, emotional conversation. It's just live in the moment as if it's like a brand new date and this is a girl you just met. Create the opportunity for sex time because your job as the man is to be the appointment setter. But again, this is about as far as girls are going to go, is they'll bump into you, they'll call you, they'll text you, but they're 99% of the time never going to ask you out. They won't even bring it up typically. They hope you do that because they're in their mind, they're afraid you may have moved on and met somebody else and they don't want to look like a fool asking you to get together when they're the ones that dumped you. And then yet now all of a sudden they want to go out on a date. So that's typically as far as they're going to go, which is exactly what she's doing. He says, "I ignored her completely every time." Well, that's kind of dumb. Because you're basically saying, "Stay away, I don't want to talk to you." Because you go no contact because the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. You were interested in sex and romance. She was offering you blue balls and friendship, be your gay male girlfriend or emotional tampon, whatever it happens to be. And you're not interested in that. But again, when she starts showing up like that, it's pretty obvious. He says, then one night she was parked outside my house, 30 minutes from her place. Eventually she tapped my shoulder while I was walking. We started talking and reconnected. I would have said, hey, come on in for a glass of wine. She also admitted to stalking me, essentially, by the way, with the beach visits and showing up around my house. Well, it's like, yeah, that's pretty obvious. He says, I was an idiot and thought we were rebuilding. We hung out every few days for several weeks. Well, were you hanging out having fun and hooking up, or were you just hanging out, going for walks and doing platonic things? Because if she runs into you, you should be making the date for her to come to your place to make dinner. Not just showing up, hanging out, going for walks in the beach, long walks on the beach. Like the whole dating profile meme. Oh, I like long walks on the beach. So you're not trying to be her friend or her pal or her therapist or her gay male girlfriend. You're interested in sex and romance. So if she's showing up like that, make a date. And then wish her well, and then have the date. And then when the signs are there that she's ready to be touched, kissed, and seduced, as the book lays out, you make your move and you seduce her. But it looks like he just continued to hang out with her and interact with her in a platonic way. Didn't make a move. It's like he was waiting for her to say, okay, let's be in a relationship again. So, again, he's new to my work, so I don't know if he found me after all this happened or this was like during the process. But he clearly didn't handle it the way 7 Principles Get an X Back lays out. He just totally missed an opportunity. And the more you hesitate, the more likely you will masturbate. She did intimate things like, for example, she went to see a play in New York with her dad, and during the trip, she sent me about 10 selfies of her and about 4 selfies of her wearing the sweatshirt I got her early in our relationship. Again, that's her way of trying to reconnect with you and say, hey, make a date, dummy. Seduce me. Beat up my pelvis. He says, or another time, I accidentally kicked sand in her eyes at the beach, and she asked me to kiss it, etc. Straight up just teasing me. At least it feels like it. So that tells me he didn't do anything. It's like he was waiting for permission to make a move. Zero confidence, zero initiative, zero directness, zero decisiveness. And these are things that women need from us. So she's showing up and you're just sitting there. She asks you to kiss her and you go, oh, she's teasing me. It's like, missed opportunity, bro. And she texts me 3 to 4 times a week, 95% her, but I never asked her on a real date. Well, you're not supposed to take her out on a date. You're supposed to invite her over to make dinner at your place. And so all this is going on. She's making it obvious she's interested, and he just kind of like a dog chasing its tail, spinning around in a circle. But when her birthday came up mid-December, I finally asked her to dinner. She was camping with friends at the time, waited 30 hours to respond, then hedged with a soft no, and no offer of a different time. So she was probably on the camping trip, hanging out with Chad Thundercock, getting her insides beat up because you never did anything for many months. I gave a thumbs up and went full no contact again. Then about 15 days later, she texted me and my mom, who she barely knows, a Christmas Santa gift. I ignored it. Then she sent a New Year's dog pic plus Happy New Year. I ignored that again. Again, I don't teach to ignore. I don't understand what you think you're going to accomplish. She's breaking no contact and you're ignoring. That's the whole reason why you go no contact. Is so she reaches out, then it's obviously her idea. If she says Happy New Year, hey, Happy New Year, cutie, we should get together for dinner. What's your schedule like? And then invite her over to make dinner at your place. Now it's January 20th, 2026. And today, she texted me the first time since January 1st. I introduced her to Harry Potter, and she must have recently gone to Orlando for the Harry Potter rides. And today, she sent me 4 selfies of stuff from the amusement park. I hit her with, looks awesome, enjoy, gotta run, keep in touch. Could have had a V8, Elon. I was surprised she replied to that text. She sent a selfie of her looking good, holding a dog, and said, later. I just gave a thumbs up. So in your opinion, is she just playing with me? Well, she's trying to get your attention, and it's like sailing right over your head. So I know you read the book. The book says it's your job to create the opportunity for sex to happen. And obviously, in your situation, you're trying to get your ex back, so you should be following what's in 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back and making the date. If she's reaching out, the book says you assume she wants to see you. You did claim you read it once, and now you're on your second with the audiobook. So, again, it's like you're going to pick up maybe 7 to 8% of the book each time you go through it. So maybe that didn't click for you. But at the end of the day, she's making it really obvious, really easy. And I'm sure by now some of the viewers who've been following me for a while are going, Jesus, dude, make a fucking move already. So in your opinion, is she just playing with me? She's trying to get your attention and you're just spinning in a circle like a dog chasing its tail without a clue of what to do. I'm trying to move on with other women, but she stays in the back of my mind. It's annoying. So the next time she reaches out, invite her over to make dinner at your place. Don't agree to meet her out or coffee or any of that. Especially if there's another guy in the picture now, she'll probably try to get you to do that just to see if you're still interested, so then you can be one of her beta male orbiters. Don't fucking do that. He says, my plan, stay silent until or if she sends real warmth, miss you, emotional text, etc. No. Again, the whole point of her breaking no contact is you assume she wants to see you. That's right out of the book. But for some reason, you seem to think that you just ignore and act like a zombie and a statue. He says, ask her out. If she says no, I will never ask her again unless she asks me out, right? So you've asked once, she said no. And I'd say a big part of that is because you waited too long. And more than likely, the reason why she waited 30 hours is probably there was a dude on the camping trip she was getting fucked by. That's probably what was going on. That's why she waited 30 hours. Because at that point, you would you lost the initiative because you just didn't recognize that she was doing what women typically do, which is not a lot, but she was still reaching out and putting herself into your orbit. So next time she reaches out, assume the reason she's reaching out, she wants to see you, so make a date at your place. Hey, you, it's good to hear from you. We should get together at my place and make dinner. What's your schedule like? And she says, oh, I don't know. I just want to see how, I'm not sure yet. I just want to see how you were. It's like, well, I'm doing great. I'm about to step into a meeting or, I got an appointment I'm headed to, but figure out your schedule and get back to me. And then when she gets back to you, she's not going to say, hey, here's my days I'm available. She'll go, hey, in a couple of days or a week or so or whatever. Assume she checked her schedule and then go right into it. Say, hey, what'd you figure out in your availability? Hey, it's good to hear from you. What'd you figure out in your schedule availability? And if she goes, oh, I still don't know. I'm unsure. I just want to check in. I was like, hey, no problem. We'll figure it out and get back to me. And then leave the conversation again. And then after that, then don't ever bring it up again. Send 2 to 3 text replies max if she's texting you. Hey, gotta run. Talk to you later. If she calls you, talk for 2 or 3 minutes. Hey, gotta run. Talk to you later. If she shows up on your walks, she can walk with you. But don't bring up getting together unless she brings it up first. But you were missing opportunities for a long time, and it's quite possible now that you just waited too long and she started dating and sleeping with somebody else. But I'd give it one more shot. When she reaches out first, try to make a date. Make dinner at your place. Don't go pick her up. Don't ask her to dinner. Dinner at your place, and you make it together. You don't make it for her. You make it together. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com. Click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members-only content, in the video description is video. There are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there, and you can do a 7-day free trial to check out all the great content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a premium membership trial today. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.